Well, hey y'all, and welcome to the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. I am Susan, your hostess, and we're going on a canning adventure. I have a easy jalapeno jelly. I call it my hot pepper jelly because I'm using a variety of peppers, and it comes out of the Ball Complete Book of Home Preserving. It is found on page 129 if you're looking for a good jelly recipe. And I will be using quarter-pint jars in place of the half-pint jars that the recipe calls for. This recipe will make 5 8-ounce jars, so I'm planning on 10 of those little half-pint jars. It calls for 12 ounces of your peppers stemmed, seeded, and deveined. It calls for 2 cups of cider vinegar. I'm going to use white vinegar. I do not have a 5% apple cider vinegar in the house at this time. I'm going to use 6 cups of granulated sugar and 2 pouches of the liquid pectin. And Ball also includes the metric systems measurements over here. So if you're interested in that and you have this cookbook, you can follow along. I am going to process the peppers in a food processor and 1 cup of vinegar until it is smooth. Then I'm going to place that into a large stainless steel saucepan. Combine the pepper puree with the remaining cup of vinegar and the sugar. I'm going to bring that to a boil on high heat and boil it and stir it consistently for 10 minutes. Then I'm going to stir in the pectin, bring it to a hard boil, and stir it for 1 minute. At that point, I will remove it from the heat. If there's any foam on top, I will remove the foam. And then we're going to quickly jar these up into those quarter-pint jars or the 4-ounce jars. I'm going to leave a 1/4-inch headspace, and then we're going to water bath can these for 10 minutes. We'll allow the lid off of it after the 10 minutes is up for 5 minutes. Remove the jars and let them sit at room temperature overnight. And then tomorrow I will unband them, check the seals, and wash them up, get them labeled, and get them into the pantry. So the reason I want to use the little quarter-pint jars is it's the perfect amount to pour over a cream cheese for an appetizer with crackers, and it tastes so yummy. Everybody loves this. It makes wonderful little gifts during the holidays. You don't have a gift, you can always gift that. People love it. So it's really a wonderful recipe. And whatever peppers I have remaining, and I'm hoping I have enough, will be going into a candy, cowboy candy relish that I make. So let's get to cooking. I'm going to measure out the peppers, and I want 12 ounces of peppers. My bowl weighed about 1 ounce, so I'm actually going to add an extra couple of peppers at the end to make up the difference in the weight. And you're going to see me weighing them on the scale. And I've got a variety of banana peppers and some jalapeno peppers. I'm going to rough cut these peppers up and deseed them and get the veins out of them, get them into the food processor. I have sped up this section just so you could see what I was doing here to get all the peppers prepared to make into this jelly. I used a chop, and then I used a pulse on these peppers to get them to the size that I wanted them to be. And again, I sped up the process so that you wouldn't get bored, but I do have to stop it every so often and push the peppers down in to the food processor. there's my peppers and my 1 cup of vinegar. I'm going to add another cup of vinegar and the 6 cups of sugar. And here goes the vinegar. Six cups of sugar. We're going to give that a good stir and get it started. And I'm going to set the timer for my jars. Alright, we have reached a rolling boil, and I am going to turn my burner down just a little bit to maintain that boil and continue to stir this for 10 minutes. Okay, my timer is about to go off, and I have a few larger chunks in here. I'm not really concerned about it because we eat most of this ourselves. A pack of Jell liquid pectin or Certo, and it is 6 fluid ounces or 177 ml, and I'm getting ready to throw that into my pot if I can get them out of the package. I don't need that, but I do need this. I'm going to get these cut and opened and into my pot. I have a rolling boil now. I'm just going to continue to slowly stir this, and it is making a beautiful golden color, which is what I was hoping for, and it's already starting to gel up. So as soon as the timer goes off, this comes off the stove, and then we will start canning it up. Oh, I took out 12 jars. I thought I took out 11. I wanted to make sure I had enough jars for my canner, so there they are. I'm going to get this spoon and it's coating the spoon. It's coating the spoon so we know it's going to gel. I'm going to set that aside. Get my funnel on. We're doing these to 1/4 inch headspace. And I did not skim it off. It doesn't bother me. But if it bothers you to have the bubbles on top, then by all means take them off. I'm going to continue to fast forward through this part as I fill up these jars, and I did get 12, plus I had a little bit of jelly left over that were put in the refrigerator, and I will be measuring off my jars to make sure I have the correct headspace of 1/4 inch. I'm adjusting the jelly in the jars to make sure that I have 1/4 inch headspace. All the jars have been debubbled, and I measure everything out to make sure everything is correct. Now I'm going to clean the rim and the sides of the jar with some vinegar, and we'll proceed to putting the seals and the bands on. To tighten the bands 3-finger tight, and then I'm going to put them in the canner. I'm going to make sure that these are all where they're supposed to be. Did I do that one? I don't think I did. Three-finger tight. And I've got my water boiling and my canner. These are fixing to go in there. Wipe my hands down just a bit. They're kind of sticky. So here we go. We're going to put them in the canner. I'm glad I put 12 in. The recipe said I should have gotten 10. And I've got a little bit left over. I timed everything correctly. Everything was done correctly, so hopefully these will do just fine. And then I've got to can up the last little remaining bit in my pot and get that in the refrigerator after it cools. I'm speeding up a little bit just to fill up the canner, just so y'all can see that I'm getting all the jars in there. And the canner, we're putting the lid on, and once we have steam coming out the side under the rim, we will know it's time to set our timer for 10 minutes. Good head of steam, so I'm going to set my timer for 10 minutes. Okay, I had this much jelly left over, y'all. It's already gelled. We know it's going to be a good jelly. That's going into the refrigerator, and isn't that a pretty jelly? Y'all see all the colors in there? And I took the rest of my peppers that I had in that great big bowl I've been showing y'all in videos, and I got 2 pounds and 4 ounces. So this is going to go into the freezer for when I have enough peppers to do the cowboy candy, and it's already halfway there. My timer just went off, so I'm going to turn the burner off. I'm going to remove the lid. There it is. We're going to let that sit for 5 minutes, and then we're going to take them out of the canner. What we've been waiting for. Look at the beautiful amber color of that jelly. Here I am taking them out of the canner. They're pinging. Look at that pretty amber color. Move my cutting board behind it. Kind of like having the cutting board back there when I show you the jars. Isn't that pretty? Look at the colors. And you can see them little specks of red in the jars. Isn't that beautiful? Well, we had about another quarter pint left over. I'm going to show you this. Look at that beautiful amber color, y'all. Isn't that beautiful? And all those little pieces of peppers, hot peppers in there. Really pretty. My neighbor came over yesterday while I was canning, and he's the one that has taken on a beehive that used to belong to our state park, and he spun his first batch of honey. He wasn't expecting to get any honey out of it this year, but this was from one tray, and I want y'all to look at the beautiful color in that. Now I've got a flashlight under it so you can see. It is just an absolutely gorgeous honey. Look at that. Beautiful. Just beautiful. And it is so sweet, y'all. I tasted it yesterday. It is the sweetest honey I've ever had. Of course, we've got cotton growing all around us. The cotton did not hurt this honey. And we allowed some of our wild weeds that flower to grow, which gave them more area to cover. And, of course, the flowers and the clover in the yard. Beautiful, beautiful jar of honey. I offered to buy some from him. He says, I'm not selling it, I'm giving it. So, thank you, neighbor, for doing that for me. I really, really appreciate that. We love honey. I also received a little piece of friend mail. This is from Dream Big Productions Plush Bat Fan. And y'all, I'm getting ready to start only doing a once a month or once every 2 week friend mail. Because I don't want to take up every video slot with just friend mail. But I do appreciate all the friend mail, and I want to continue to do that. So I opted to bring this at the end of this video today to show you what he sent, or they sent. And this was a Discount Tire Company envelope. And it says on here, keep the receipts from the year 2002 and this sleeve for your souvenir from Dream Big Productions Plush Bat Fan. And inside the envelope, it tells you all the locations and important information on the back of the envelope. But inside the envelope, he has his tire bill for that year. And this was with left front, left rear, right rear. And it include the mileage and the workmanship materials were a lifetime. Road hazard free replacement. 2 certificates, 2 state required, 2 free flat repairs, air checks and rotation, and an environmental fee, and a free replacement if one of the tires went bad, 2 lifetime balancing and rubber valve, and they paid $125 for 4 tires, and that was in 2005. And of course they had the vehicle information on the back. Really just a neat little souvenir. So thank you very much, Dream Big Productions Plush Bat Fan, for sending that to me. Oh, this opens up. So it's got all the states in here and all their locations, front and back. So that if they were to go out of a state, they can go to another state, get get it taken care of. Great thing to have. So thank you very much for thinking about me and sending me that piece of friend mail. I do appreciate your friendship. Y'all go check out Dream Big Productions Plush Bat Fan. I will put a link to him in the description box below. And I thank everybody for watching. My jars are still over there pinging now. I had another successful canning adventure today, and I thank you for coming along with me and making this adventure enjoyable. May you be fully blessed